A lot of you know that I had a brain injury. In February, I fell down 8 feet of stairs and I landed on the back of my head and hit it really hard. And then I got a complicated, mild traumatic brain injury, which meant that I had a little bit of bleeding in my brain. Then I had a follow-up CT scan and the bleeding is gone. For a long time, I thought, well, I just need to rest and take it easy. Partly, I have not been doing the right things for myself. Partly, I really needed to have some actual therapy help. I didn't know where to go or what to do and how I could get help. And I thought, well, if I get in with a neurologist, I've noticed I've had a lot of pain in my head after I've done some cognitive work. Like when I'm trying to explain something that is really involved, or I am researching a YouTube video or writing a script for a YouTube video. And the last video I recorded was really difficult for me because the brain problem had gotten bad enough that I'd look at my script, I'd look at the first part, and sometimes by the time I looked up at the camera, I couldn't remember what it said. So I went back and forth and back and forth. That video was pretty hard to make. There was more editing in that video than I think I've ever done, but it's because I had to cut out all that nonsense, all that extra and everything. So I was really pushing my brain. And when I saw my therapist, who I've seen off and on since 2020, I started seeing him initially because I had a problem with the boss, and then we became kind of therapist friends. I don't know how to explain it, but he's become like my sounding board. So he knows me really well. And when I was there on Thursday, I said to him, look, I'm having all these problems that are going on, and my word finding sometimes in the day is really bad where no one can understand what I'm talking about. Then I said, do you see a difference in me since February? He's like, oh yeah, definitely. It'd be really good if you could find some therapy. There's one group up here that's really good, and they have NFL players come and everything, but it's really expensive. They don't take insurance, and it can cost up to $25,000, which of course I can't pay for that. But I went on their website and looked and found that they had a sister company that's right across the hall, and they do take insurance, and the insurance treats it just like therapy. So my copay is just like a normal physical therapy would be.
Roseanne?
Yes.
I need some help.
Huh?
I
Husband needed help now. Can I find out? Okay, I was talking to you about this therapy. So I made an appointment. I went in and saw them, and they did an initial evaluation. One of the things they checked was how my eyes track. And your eyes are supposed to track smoothly, but mine kind of get stuck, and then I have to catch up. And so that was a problem. They do a test with balancing, and I found out that's a common accepted method of testing for concussion. I couldn't balance to the point that she didn't do the second half of the test. But she said they help people all the time. I had come in at the right time, and she feels sure that she's going to be able to help me. So that was really encouraging, and I'm going twice a week. That's really encouraging that I found that help. Another thing is that I have IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, which is very common for people who have fibromyalgia to get IBS, and I really haven't been taking care of it, but lately I've had a lot of problems with it. My worst problem is really bloating, where my stomach will blow right out. It's so uncomfortable, and then I have problems with my bowel movements, and so it's been really bad lately. And last night we went to a family party, and everybody brings their own food. I got a salad that I like from Costa Vida, and then they had some snacks and stuff, and I got a Fresca. I got home, I was just dying, and I thought, okay, I have to do something. And so I did some reading. Everybody's talking about this food map diet. It's where for a short amount of time, it's not a permanent thing, but you only eat foods that won't set your IBS off. And then after your stomach and everything gets all settled down, then you just gradually start adding things in until you find the things that really bother you. So I've decided that's it. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do that. I've been reading a lot about the brain fog and fibromyalgia, and part of it is caused by the brain injury and part of it's caused by the fibromyalgia. What they say, even though people with fibromyalgia do not feel like walking, it's just like a really hard thing that they need to walk, even if it's just 5 minutes, and then it will help you get stronger and will start feeling better. And for one thing, then it stops this muscle deterioration, which makes you even more tired. And then you get into the habit I have of watching TV because I didn't feel like anything else, doing anything else, and that affected me. And so I basically have been doing everything incorrectly. Yes, I need to pace. And the brain therapist said I need to keep myself under the threshold. And by that she said not overworking my brain. So under the threshold so that my brain could relax. And the way for me to do that is, for one thing, to not watch TV and not spend so much time. I've been spending too much time on my phone, scrolling my phone, which is really bad. My eyes aren't tracking well, which I've noticed it'll get really hard to read. I think that's part of it. I've realized I haven't been doing enough things to take care of myself. I have been skipping meals, and then when I eat, I've been eating the wrong things and things that would make me feel bad. It wouldn't make anybody to feel bad. It doesn't matter if you have a chronic illness. It would make anybody feel lousy to eat the way I've been eating. I haven't been moving to the point where I haven't even wanted to go out in my backyard and look at my chickens or our chickens. And I haven't been trying to do any of the crafts that I've bought or any of the things that I think will make me feel better. Read some of the books that I bought that are inspiring, or I'll learn something, or it'll be information I'd want to pass on to you. I just have gotten more and more just spending more and more time in my chair. And then the only thing I was thinking about was YouTube, just obsessively thinking about YouTube. And to make a video, the kind of videos I've been making, take so long, take me at least a day to research it. And then it would take hours and hours and hours to write the script. And I've had to make a script because I haven't been able to, in my mind, organize things out and not just ramble. There's no script because I'm just explaining my life. So like the last video I did all of this research, and then it took me 3 days to write the script. I recorded the video that day, and it took me so long to record it because I kept forgetting what I was doing. And then it took me 2 days to edit it. And by days, I'm not meaning 8 hours a day because my brain wouldn't do that, but 4, maybe 5 hours. And then it took me like another day to get it uploaded and the thumbnail, and then there's always the anxiousness about the thumbnail. Is this right? It took me a very long time to get that video out. And so I have come to realize that I can't, at least now, for a while, I can't do a video a week. I don't have enough time, and I need to be able to pull back and think what video is actually going to be better for me to make, more useful to you, but doesn't put so much stress on me, because I've just been pushing myself too hard. And I've been pushing myself too hard for someone who's not dealing with chronic illness and is not dealing with a brain injury. I have been just pushing myself. I am always tempted to say I'm not a perfectionist, because I'm not a perfectionist in that everything has to turn out perfectly, or my room has to turn out perfectly, but I'm a perfectionist in the way I push myself, and that I spend too much time and too much focus on things almost obsessively. So I need to back off of that. I'm going to, in every other week, video posting on YouTube, which is going to be helpful too, because in June and July we're going on some vacations. We're going to take half at a time, so we always leave people at home to watch property and feed the animals and things. So we're going on one in June and then one in July. So just this skipping is going to help me that way. But most importantly, I think it's going to help me kind of pull back, doing YouTube a more healthy thing. And I hope you will understand understand this. I hope this will encourage you to really take a look at what you're doing, do some research and some reading, and find out if there's something you can do, because sometimes when we're feeling really sick, there's just this temptation to automatically reject everything that's out there that could help us, because we're just like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't. But part of it's just because, like, sometimes our brain is so foggy and it just can't accept or think of doing something differently. And then by not even trying to do something different, we're just accepting the status quo of our life. It's a challenge, and we're going to find out if it helps me. The next video will happen 2 weeks from today. Then there'll be one 2 weeks from that, and 2 weeks and 2 weeks. And if I get feeling really good, then I might go back to once a week. Have any questions about any of this, or any thoughts about any of this, any help I can give you? I hope you put those in the comments. But I want you to know, I believe in you. I love you so much. I read your comments and my heart just goes out to you. Sometimes I'm just praying, how can I help these people? How can I help them? And they're telling me what they're going through, and my heart is just so touched and so worried sometimes. And I appreciate you. And even if you're not commenting because maybe you're watching on the television, just the fact that you're here and you're coming back week after week, watching what I'm doing, it means an awful lot to me. And I just always pray every single day that I can make videos that will help people. That is my number one goal. If you feel that you relate to any of this, and this is new to you, and I'm new to you, I hope you'll consider subscribing. And here is a video that YouTube feels that you'll enjoy. And I hope I see you next time. Bye.